Hey everyone, welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Spotlight On. We are here catching up with one of Salem's bad boys, Brody Hutzler, who used to play Patrick Lockhart. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Why, hello, all of you Days of Our Lives fans, and welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Spotlight On. We, as always, like to chit-chat with some of our favorite current and past cast members of Days of Our Lives, and today is no exception. But before we get to him, I'm your host, Tony Moore. Welcome on this lovely Sunday afternoon. I don't know where that voice is coming from. Like, I feel
you were making fun of mine earlier.
Probably. Like, I suddenly feel like I'm on.
We're in the
SNL
studio with
skit.
Delilah now.
Yeah.
Is that mine?
Yeah.
Oh. You want to see it? See, I don't like.
I need to see it.
Okay.
Well, that voice that you guys are familiar
delayed.
with is my lovely co-host.
Mark J. Freeman.
And, of course, we have...
Matthew Evan Paine. Hi, everyone.
And you guys may recognize this guy. He used to play Patrick Lockhart. He is Mr. Brody Hutzler.
I'm still playing him.
You are
Secretly.
currently.
Yes, when I
In his
travel
treehouse.
abroad.
Whether you guys know this or not, this is all a con already.
Yeah.
What happened was I hit him with my car and I said, well, to repay you, you have to come in and do this interview.
That's right.
Here he is.
And here he is.
Kicking
I'm going to live above your garage for a while.
Yeah. So speaking of, I always like to remind fans of all the things that the character has done, just as a refresher in case people forgot.
Refresh me.
So, well, first off, we already kind of kicked it off with how you first made your appearance in Salem was when Jennifer hit you with her car, and you pretended to be friends with Jack. Yes, Jack.
Love Jack.
Yes.
We like Patrick more, though.
Yes.
For this next
Although he
45
did
minutes.
For the next
interfere
45
with
minutes.
Jack and Jennifer. So.
And then with that, he made Jennifer pay for his medical bills because he had no money, no insurance, no place to stay. So Jennifer allowed you to stay in her garage apartment, which I don't think we've seen since. It was also revealed that you were the son of the housekeeper, Bonnie Lockhart, who was played by Judy Evans, which I totally forgot that she even played a housekeeper.
Yeah.
So that was a refresher for me. I didn't know this. You helped Jennifer because she was pregnant at the time with Jack Jr., who we now know as JJ.
I delivered that baby
did.
in an island cave.
Yes.
Via episiotomy, no less.
And speaking of the island, which was, I think this has to be like my favorite storyline, the whole Salem stalker thing where everyone got killed and they were all on this island, and you and Hope discovered the island and everyone on it. You also had like some love interests. There was some love for Hope, a little hookup with Billy, some flings with Jennifer, all that. And you were also working for the Damaras. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Patrick Lockhart.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
Yes.
Right.
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
And then stretch that up with 4 years.
Did you have any
Yes.
favorite storylines from all of those?
They were all great. I'll say this: the beginning with the island and the delivering of the baby and the airplanes and the killings of the sharks was a little wild, and although it was sort of fun to do, it was sort of ridiculous. So that was Jim Riley, I think, was writing at the time, and then he left, and it got a little more fun. Respectable.
Right.
Like I felt like I was
Not
actually,
as far-fetched.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
really hard to make that work, but it was fun. So yeah.
Was it? I remember during the whole Salem stalker, and this is sort of kind of pre-internet, sort of. No, the internet wasn't as popular, but like they were killing off all
Dial
these
up.
people, and no one knew what was going on. Like everyone thought, oh my God, they're killing off all these like major characters, and no one knew. Do you remember that time? And was it scary for people? Like, what was the talk
Among the cast?
Yeah. Were people
I feel
worried?
like it started before I got there, sort of. I think it kind of showed up. It was already happening, and no, I don't remember anyone feeling like it could be me next.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but I was probably just worried because I just started it and was just want to like do a good job kind of thing, and I just my character had the balloon to worry about, so
Yeah.
that was a good one. But
I thought you did a great job as Patrick.
oh, thank you.
He was a very interesting fellow.
I think it turned into a good part. I think like I said, the beginning was a little touch and go, and then it got good, and you know, he's like the bad guy with the heart of gold, and turns out he had his own island paradise, and kind of like James Bond, MacGyver meets, I don't know who, but
Matthew Paine.
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Me.
Yeah.
Mark was like, Matthew Paine. Matthew Paine.
I was like, wait, why does that name sound familiar? I was gonna. I just lost mine. Sorry, it'll come back to me. This what happens. I know, and I'm not
Brody
drinking
Hutzler.
yet.
Yeah. Well, just to let you know, this happens to Mark every now and then.
Yeah, it'll come and then it'll go.
Yeah.
And I get distracted.
But that was a good suggestion. Have a pizza roll and then they'll pop back in.
I'm distracted by this more than
I
anything.
know.
hair.
that's-
I said I would do it, but I'm too tall
Oh, I
already.
just remembered.
Okay.
That happens too.
One thing I do remember about when you were on was the relationship with Hope. And I remember because Hope had never really been with anybody besides Bo. I mean, for the most part, and especially even up till now with Aiden. That was the next after you. And I just remember thinking I was happy to see her with somebody else. Like, I don't know that I was necessarily pulling for you guys, but I literally remember thinking, I was like, finally, they're going to give her a relationship with someone besides
Bo.
I remember thinking about that at the time. You know, it was like, Patrick, you either loved all that or you hated it, but you felt one way or the other about it. I thought, you know, Christian was one of my favorite storylines because we had great chemistry and it was a fun thing to do, and I felt that it was cool that Patrick was like the first guy that she ever really had a relationship with. And I mean, there was talk that that baby was mine, Patrick's, but you know, things had to change because Patrick was leaving.
Right.
But I'm still in touch with Christian. She's great, and she was a lot of. I was lucky because I worked with Julie Pinson and then Melissa Reeves and Christian the most, and they were great. And really, I loved going to work.
Yeah. Do you remember when you first auditioned for Days?
I do. Yeah.
Did you? Now I always like to find this out because doing these spotlight ons, I always find out that someone went in for Days for a completely different character and then was bought back for someone else. Is that your case?
Not on Days. It happened to me on Guiding Light way back in the day. It's a whole different show. But it's funny because I already knew Missy Reeves because I knew her husband and just from passing. So when I showed up, it was nice because we knew each other. So
familiarity.
It was helpful because my whole screen test and everything was with her.
Yeah.
So the only thing I remember is a couple of the other guys that were there. I still remember who they were, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And I was happy to get the part.
Yeah.
You know?
When you were on Young and the Restless as Cody Dixon, and then Days as Patrick, obviously, was Days a gig that you were approached with, or was it just a regular audition that they called you about?
Yeah, it's funny. It was just an audition. I think, you know, I had been on Young and the Restless for about 4 years recurring, and I just went in and auditioned. You know, I did like the regular thing, and I literally, you know, it was like one of the few times as an actor I had to quit an acting job to take that part.
Yeah.
But Young and the Restless was great to me, but it was recurring, and it was kind of like, you know, I wanted to do something more, and I knew this Patrick would be a fun character and a little more involved.
Are there different feelings to the different soap sets, the atmospheres?
Mm-hmm. Well, what I remember at the time, for me, Young and the Restless, it was much more of a. You were really much closer with the producers and things, and the cast was spread out. It's a much bigger studio, so the actors weren't as close, in my opinion. But then I went to Days, and the cast was pretty tight because you're all jammed together downstairs.
Yeah.
And you didn't really interact with the producers as much. It
Right.
was more of a distinction between like the actor and the producer. So they were different, both great in their own ways. But I did notice a difference.
How did you get involved in acting?
Well, I always liked it. My dad, we moved a lot, my family, when I was a kid. So at the time I was living in Long Island, New York, and my family's not involved in the business, and it just never was a reality to me. I didn't think I was ever gonna just like pack up my crap and move to LA to be an actor. But it turns out my parents moved to LA, and I was going to college, and would come home for the summers, and I did some extra work just to see what it was like. And I was like, man, it's really cool, and I feel like I can do this. And I moved to California and went to acting. Quit college, went to acting school. I quit college with like a semester left. Went to acting school full time, and that's it.
The rest is history.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, I read that your first acting gig was on Saved by the Bell, the new class.
New Class.
Yes. Which
Wow.
I was a huge fan of Saved by the Bell.
That was my first
And I
big
just
part.
kept going,
Yeah.
How was that for you? Because I know for me, when I first did background work on Days, and Days being my favorite show, I was just kind of in awe, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here. Like, how was it for you with it being like your first acting gig? Were you nervous? Were you kind of felt pressure or?
Definitely nervous. I was probably like 24, and I think I had like an under 5 on Young and the Restless prior to that, and that was it.
Yeah.
And this is like my 5th audition, and I got it, and it was very green, and I was scared, but you know, again, it was you know, that show especially was a live audience, and it's a whole different beast.
Yeah.
And, you know, and you're in front of live people, and it's even more scary. And it's one of those whole lot of energy shows, and like, you know, more energy. Like, I don't know what else I can do for you, like scream. And but you know, it was I was lucky for me because the part was pretty decisive. Like, I was like the date raper. So, like, my choices were pretty easy to come up with. So yeah, I did that. That was fun.
Now I say I was since you were talking about getting into acting, I did read, I don't know whether it's true or not, you can confirm or deny, that
Plead the Fifth.
Mr. Alan Alda was an inspiration for you to become an actor.
Yeah, I remember watching MASH as a kid, and they just made it look so easy, and it was funny and fun. I'm like, well, you know, I don't remember the whole thought process, but I always thought that, you know, I really looked up to that guy. He's a great actor and just so natural.
Yeah.
You know.
So when it came to this role of Patrick Lockhart, what things did you pull in order to create this character?
Well, I'm not supposed to talk about this, right?
But please talk about it.
Do work and have worked for the CIA in the past. The Bourne, you know, those are based on my history as well. So, no, I don't know. I just, you know, it was written well, and you know, in those kind of roles in the daytime, it's like they're pretty ambiguous. You kind of I brought Brody, you know, and I added what they gave me, which was you know, everybody can be a jerk in life, and everyone can be nice in life, and it's fun. That's what acting's about, right? You can use all those parts of yourself that you can't normally do. Yeah. And like I said, the people I worked with made it easy. You know, it's fun. And the great thing about those girls, women, is like they're really. We run lines a lot. You know, someone like Christian Alfonso doesn't have to do that, but she would. Yeah. And it was good. It was good for us and good for the show. And so you know, you can, because of soaps, you don't have always the time to hash out all the details. Yeah, you know, you have like a day to learn it, maybe, or maybe a week, but
everything goes so quick.
Yeah, you know, it's nice to have someone around you that will, you know, you discover things, right? Even if it's 5 minutes before you go up there, to make it fun or make it different. And I don't even know if I answered the question.
I got it.
I don't know, where am I?
Sure you did. Sure you did.
It's like, what happened? Where is it?
Where am I?
No, you're doing great. So I know that you had done soaps previously, and going into Days, how did you feel moving on to this show? Did you feel like, were you welcomed with open arms? Were you side-eyed? Like, how?
I felt great. I felt like I was open. You know, it was like I said, I knew Missy, which was great. I don't remember who else I may have known at the time, because I'd kind of been in the game a bit. You know, I'd been on Guiding Light for a while, way back, and then just being on Young and the Restless peripherally, I hadn't met a lot of people, and so. You know, I showed up. I feel like people weren't like, "Who are you?" necessarily. Right. So I felt like everybody was cool with me, and you know, I'm always a professional guy, even though I like to goof around a lot. But you know, I knew my stuff, and you know, I'm one of those people who can screw around up until they start counting you down, and then I'm on it. Yeah, right. Well, some people don't like, and I wouldn't do it with those people, but I just kind of that's just my style. Unless it's a really, really heavy day, and it's just, you know, you got to be. But I like to keep it light and fun, and just kind of. So how are you doing?
Good.
I feel like bad, you know. He's over here. I'm just gonna try.
It's like, what? Are we straying? No.
Your first soap appearance was on Guiding Light. Yeah.
Technically, it was on Young and the Restless as a
as
courier
under 5
or something.
Yeah, under 5.
Yeah, but Guiding Light. So that's one of those stories where I auditioned. You know, they fly to New York. I auditioned for something, a bunch of us, and then I got home and they didn't get the part. But then within a month, I didn't audition, but I got flown back out there for another thing with a bunch of people, and I ended up getting that part, which was Zachary Smith.
Yeah.
All-American boy.
No, which is an angel, believe it or not. You know, actually, what's the movie with Nicolas Cage? City of God or
City of Angels.
City of Angels. Right. So really, that was that storyline for that character when I went there, and I thought that was really cool. But that producer was getting fired, and the storyline wasn't happening, and no one knew what to do with the character, so it became this really ambiguous, boring thing. So after like 7 months, I was gone.
Did you uproot your life and move to New York, or were you just there part-time?
No, I moved there. You know, I was in a hotel for like 2 months, and then I got an apartment, and I lived there. And
so just like in Salem.
Yeah,
you live in the hotel for a while.
Exactly, you live in the hotel for a while until they build you a house.
I just didn't get hit by a car. Really, everything else is pretty similar.
Right.
Yeah. A lot less girls too.
Did you? I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want this to sound bad, but I know that sometimes soap actors kind of get razzed that, you know, that it's just soaps.
Yeah.
Did you have any hesitation to do soaps? Did he,
My first acting coach is guy Vincent Chase, who the show Entourage is based on. Vince Chase, that name, because they're the same acting coach for Mark Wahlberg. But anyway, he was like, "Don't ever do subs. They're gonna want you to do subs. Don't do it. I don't want you. You really believed in me to do something else." But when you're 24 and you're scrounging for $5 and you want to act and you want to make a living, it was hard to say no. So there are times I've thought like, man, should I have done that? But it's come to a place now where I don't think it ever matters anymore. I mean, you just
I feel like it doesn't matter as much anymore.
Not anymore.
As
But
it used to.
But I was catching it right on the tail end where it's still kind of like people look down on you like, maybe not. But no, I'm glad.
Good.
I'm fortunate to have worked as much as I have. Would I like to work more, of course? But I mean, I've had a good run. So.
And since Days, you've done The Bay, so you.
I did do a few episodes of The Bay. Yes, I did. I don't mean to laugh. But yeah, I did like 4 episodes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you do soaps again?
I would. Yeah, absolutely would do soaps again. Yeah.
So if they brought Patrick back.
You just stole the words out of my mouth.
Well, we were talking before that Jim Riley created the Lockharts, and I've always understood it that they can't use the Lockharts because he created them and had to be paid if they used him.
I think that's what it is.
I don't know if that's true.
That's what we heard too. That if they bring back a person that somebody else created, then they owe them.
But he's dead, so I don't know. Maybe it's his estate we have to pay. But I'm like, I'll pay for it. Just kidding.
Well, I'm thinking. I mean, now, especially now that Bo's gone, we've got Hope with Rafe, and then Aiden's coming back.
Right. And a lot of people don't like either of those.
We're gonna
couples.
need a chink in that at some point because eventually you're just gonna leave Rafe and go to Aiden.
There's been, I'll tell you what, Christian Alfonso has been a champion for me. She's tried, and pitched some ideas over there, I think, for me because we did have a good thing, and she's said it before. I don't know.
Maybe Sierra could be yours. I mean, her dad's gone, so.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like everyone over there wasn't there when I was there, so no one even knows that happened. Yeah. That's why I feel like it's not even a consideration.
The fans remember.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
We'll tweet about it, don't you worry.
Exactly. Well, that's a great thing about this platform is that fans always remember, and so we can encourage them to remind those people over at Days of just who Patrick Lockhart was.
Unfortunately, that's amazing, and that's great. Yeah, but I've been fortunate enough since then to do. Funny enough, I've been doing a lot of films mostly. I mean, I've done some TV since then. I did a couple episodes of Hot in Cleveland and some other things, which was great. I got to meet Betty White and all that.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah, it was cool. And Valerie Bertinelli, who I had a crush on when I was a kid. And, soaps are great though. I think I've always said when I was doing it, it's just like perfect thing to do, especially if you have a family. Right. The schedules are such, and now I have a family, so I would really welcome it. Beyond the fact that it's just fun to do.
I have a question. I don't remember this, and maybe you will remember this. Mike Bowman wants to know. He says you have to discuss EJ beating Patrick with a belt. Clearly, he remembers.
I will say this. I don't remember the belt part, but I'm sure it was there. That was a whole man. James Scott, right?
Yeah, James Scott. Yeah,
a nice guy, but we definitely, we were both like the same height, and it was always like I always felt like it was this weird. It worked because we were supposed to be kind of at butting heads on as characters. I think there's nothing overt, but I could feel it worked. It worked, and I hated the fact that he got to beat me so bad. Just in my own ego, my Brody's ego was so bruised that I had to get. I'm like, come on, really? Can you just like do something like shoot me? I mean, please. I'm gonna beat me down like a dog. Belt. I know, it was awful.
That's great. Yeah. And Janaea, I think it's Janaea, wants to know if you happen to watch Days since you've left.
Is your DVR set? I've caught Days. I don't watch it on the regular.
Right.
But I've definitely seen it. I still know some people over there. And
well,
when you're after you go ahead.
Just a reminder, we are taking your questions live, so you guys feel free to give us a call. And,
ask me anything.
And be careful with that because suddenly you tell people to ask you anything,
can always say no.
And they are asking you anything and everything. But just a reminder, we're going to put the phone number, our lovely engineer, Alexis. Hi, Alexis, in the booth. She's going to put...
Hey, everybody. I can go ahead and say the number for now.
Yeah.
It's area code 424-253-0749. Again,
Wait, that's my cell phone.
Surprise!
It will be blowing up in a minute.
Yes, Alexis, can you say that again?
Of course. It's area code, just the number in general. Yeah. Area code 424-253-0749, and I'll put it up on the lower slate in just a second.
Thank you, Alexis.
So feel free to call in and ask Brody anything, apparently.
Sure.
Well, I'm gonna go because I have a question.
Yes.
I was gonna go back to the Bay, if you don't mind. Your character on the Bay was a gay character. If I'm not mistaken.
definitely.
Were you as gay as Mark? Was the question.
You know, if they asked me back, I would definitely spend some time with you before I go back.
Did you? Wasn't expecting that. Sorry. Threw me off. I'm pretty gay.
Are you happy?
I'm delighted right now.
Very happy.
Very
Did you have any
happy?
any reservations about that?
No, not at all. In fact, I think it would have been a fun character to explore more. I don't know what happened. I did 4 episodes, and I never really saw the show after that, so I don't know if they continued on with someone else or just cut it out, or I don't know. Don't know what happened.
Yeah. Curious.
So you've been doing TV and film, obviously. Do you have a preference, one over the other?
I don't actually. I feel like as long as it's. No, I don't. I like them both. They're both great in their own ways.
And you've done voiceover too.
I've done a little voiceover.
Yeah.
Boy, yes, I have. Anyone needs a voiceover guy, and I'm all about it. I think
If anyone
honestly,
needs a voiceover guy, call Brody.
yeah, if I could make a career in voiceovers, I would be all about it.
Yeah.
Sit at home in your robe in a little booth and.
Yeah. I did a voiceover audition once, and I just had the best
your
time.
robe?
No, and I was no high heels or something. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. But and it was just an audition, and I was like, that was so much fun just to like play and just.
I'm doing a voiceover thing right now for I wish I remember the name of the website, but it's in England. And it's to teach like accents. So they want a California accent. So I have this list of stuff I have to read into my phone in my closet booth.
Oh, how
and
funny.
then send the files.
In a California accent?
Well, that's the thing. I don't really necessarily have one, but I just try to enunciate, which for me is a challenge. and that's it. So
My
far, so
name's
good.
Brody, bro.
Yeah.
So it's a list of different accents?
here?
Oh.
It's so funny because that just you doing that made me remember the Totally Blonde. I watched the thing for
Did you
that.
see it? Oh, come on.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I honestly I have to say, because I've taken a couple acting classes, and it's hard to play. I know, I'm clearly not that good at it, but it's so hard to play kind of dumb.
Yeah.
And you did it really well.
Thank
like
you.
I was like, wow, he's really. Because
wait for
sometimes
it.
it looks like they're playing dumb.
Right.
But you generally, I was like, oh, look at that.
That was fun.
I was really impressed. I was like,
It was
wow.
fun because it was such an out there. I mean, really, it was like Spicoli mixed with Bill from Bill and Ted,
Yeah,
basically, for
totally.
me. And it was totally blonde. And
Yeah.
funny enough, Michael Bublé's in it with
Yes,
me. And,
yes.
So it's, come on, Michael. Help me out.
Don't forget about Brody.
You forgot about me. I mean,
How dare he?
yeah, that was fun.
Did you have any roles that you booked, or one role in particular that you were like, yes, I booked it, I can't believe it?
AfterBuzz.
After hours of trying my luck, every time actually that I get a job, I think, yes, I booked it, because it's so incredibly insane of what it takes to get a job. I mean, you have to get to the casting, the producers, and if it's recurring, especially, I mean, just like 20 people I probably underestimate have to agree that you're the guy.
Yeah,
and so and so
exactly.
isn't available. Christian Slater's unavailable this week, so you actually do get the part.
Yeah.
But I think I got a part, a spelling pilot once that I was really happy about. What else? Actually, funny enough, I did Mega Shark 4, Mega Shark versus Colossus, and I was really psyched to get that because I got to work with.
Oh my god, that just reminded me of what
As
Mark
I forgot
does.
her name. You know what I'm talking about.
Should I
her.
IMDb it?
Yeah, God,
That's
my God, it's
IMDb
awful.
app.
No, Ileana Douglas. Sorry,
There it
I'm
is.
so sorry. I'm sure she's not watching, but nonetheless.
Be surprised.
She's like, that bastard.
I was really happy to honestly be starring opposite her. She's just an amazing actress. I was really psyched to be involved.
I kept trying to figure out, because I looked at your IMDb page too, and I saw that you were in Legally Blonde, which I love that movie and music.
Totally Blonde.
Technically,
Oh, Legally Blonde.
Legally
Yeah,
Blonde.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Technically,
yeah.
I'm not in it. Well, you'll see me in the background in the one scene, but
Yeah.
So I had a scene with Reese Witherspoon and with another guy, and we had to tell her a joke, and it was cute and funny, but it was a crowd scene, and as an act, it's hard because there's no real sound, so you have to, as you're doing the part on film, you have to yell like you're talking over the music and this and that.
Yeah.
And the person I was working with couldn't get it.
Yeah.
He couldn't talk any louder than what I'm talking right now. And
Yeah.
so I said, man, if this movie runs long at all, there's no way we're going to make it. And
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
Oh,
It's too bad. But you know what? I'll tell you what. They still pay me.
well, that's always
Not
good.
much, but I definitely made more since doing it than I did doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But it's funny because my name's 10th in the credits.
Yeah.
They're always like, oh, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, look for me.
I couldn't even find the footage. I'm like, oh, is there like I'll take they give me the bonus footage. It's not
Yeah.
even. I think they just like literally probably turned the camera off.
Oh.
They'd be like, we didn't actually record that scene with Brody.
That could have changed everything, guys.
I know, your whole
Could have changed
career.
everything.
I do have another question from the chat room. Casey Lynn wanted to know if there was anywhere you wanted Patrick, the character Patrick, to go that they didn't go, that you wish, I wish they would have done this.
Well, I think it would have been really interesting to continue the storyline with Hope and with that baby, and then Bo turns up again, or
Yeah.
I just feel like there was that character. There was just so many possibilities. I mean, and even the stuff with Julie Pinson, the Billy. I loved the Billy, Patrick, Hope, Bo
Yeah.
thing. All that stuff was great, and she's another great, fun person to work with, and we had a really good chemistry together. And no, I was there a short time, but I did a lot of fun. Like my character did a lot of fun stuff.
Right.
Like, it was an interesting guy to play, and I guess you have to keep it interesting. It gets boring. I guess that's kind of daytime though. It kind of drags a bit here and there.
When your time comes to an end, or when you know
I
that your
die? What are you
contract
talking about?
is
I'm only. How old do you think I am?
not that old.
Okay.
Happy belated birthday, by the
Yeah.
way.
Oh yeah, that's
Welcome.
right. You celebrated a birthday this week.
420, everybody.
That's right.
Happy birthday.
right.
It's not just for smoking weed anymore.
So now I have a reason.
Yeah,
There you go.
you can puff to Brody. This one's for you.
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Oh, as you know that your contract is coming to an end when you're doing something like Days of Our Lives, is it a discussion that I won't be coming back, or is it something like, your last day is the 30th, thank you for your time?
That did happen to me on Guiding Light, where they basically just said, you're done. I was like, okay.
Oh, wow.
Actually, I read it in a magazine first.
Oh,
No
no.
way.
Yeah, I was home for the holidays, and I was reading it, like, I was cut from the show, and I had to go back to New York to finish up, and that's when they pulled me aside. That's a whole different story.
Oh wow.
On Days, my contract was coming up, and I was kind of on the fence about, I've been doing soaps a long time,
Right.
I kind of want to do other stuff, and the producer and I talked, and basically they were kind of saying, all the Lockharts are going to be going, so thanks but no thanks. So I didn't really have a choice.
Oh, wow.
But they were cool. I mean, I was fine with that. The only problem with all of that is when I left the show is when the writer's strike happened, in which the industry completely
Yeah.
shit itself, for
Yeah.
lack of a better term, and
Yeah.
everything changed. And so it was like the worst possible timing professionally and
Right.
monetarily you could have
Yeah.
ever had. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I was fine with it. All right. Fine with it.
Next question.
Was there ever a storyline that you were surprised about with any of the soaps that you worked on, that you got the script and you were like,
Oh.
huh?
Well, I'll tell you, you hand it to the writers because they write a lot of material every day, and you beyond just a storyline, there's sometimes you get things you just can't say it the way it's written. You can't. But soap operas are good that they let you kind of rework it so that it comes out.
Yeah.
It's like just trying to get stuff out of your mouth, and I always try to stay as true to the writing as I can because I respect what they do. But well, I mean, really on Guiding Light, the fact that I was an angel, that was 1996 and seven, and that was a tough pill to swallow. No, and they never really said it. That's what he was, and it was a weird storyline. Other than that, just on Days when I was literally Patrick was killing sharks and describing that he cut the baby shark so that the mama shark would then attack her babies in a feeding frenzy so we could get away. That was kind of like.
And you
I
can't
mean,
really
I'm all for like suspending disbelief, but there's some stuff that was crazy.
Yeah.
you can't really say, I don't really think this is for the character.
Yeah, no. In those days, you just do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just kind of like, well, all right. See,
But that was Jim Riley's. That was his whole thing. He did a lot of crazy, and
Right.
but that kept the show interesting too, right?
Yeah,
I
right.
think he did like the possessed Marlena thing.
Right.
I think that was him. I'm not sure, but there was something about that that's awesome too. It's
Right.
so out there. It's fun to watch. It's just
Yeah.
not so monotonous. But
he didn't he also create Passions?
Yes, which was a spin. Which Eric Martsoff told us. Passions happened because of the Marlena being possessed by
Is
the
that how
devil
that went down?
storyline.
Yeah.
They liked it. The ratings were so big. They said we want a whole nother soap based on the supernatural thing like
Yeah,
this,
right.
and that's how it kind of came to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he definitely had that overheated
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
of thinking and writing, which worked.
Yeah, it works,
Yeah. I mean, we all still talk about Marlena being possessed.
Oh
True,
yeah.
true.
Oh yeah.
Like it was yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have another question from the chat room. What was it like working with Judy Evans? She was hilarious as Bonnie.
That's somebody else I missed. I didn't mention her already.
Yeah.
She was awesome. I mean, look, I love her. And the funniest thing of all, she's literally like 6 years older than me or something crazy. And I'm playing her son. We used to always joke about it. But she was honestly another one. Just great, just fun to work with, and just so giving and open and fun and just ready to play and have a good time. And she's just a great lady.
Yeah.
All the way around.
Yeah.
I honestly, and it's none of this is BS. It's all true. We're all great people. I mean, I don't think. I mean,
Yeah.
I really thought about it. I could probably name a person I didn't like, but it's rare. They probably didn't like me, but I like them.
They didn't like you.
No,
they loved you.
It's an intervention. I'm here to tell you, no one likes you.
Well, I think you're likable.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I do play a lot of bad guys these days. Funny enough.
You do,
Yeah.
but you play them well.
Thank you.
I think.
Yeah. Well, I have a couple-
but that doesn't mean that you're a bad guy in real life.
No,
At least,
it means the opposite.
Yeah.
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 Just don't talk to my wife.
Do you enjoy playing your lovely wife Judith? Tell us about your wife and your baby.
I have a wife and a baby. Mark, help me.
How old is your baby?
I have a 16-month-old daughter. She's amazing and beautiful, and love her to death, of course. And I have a wife who we've been together 6 years.
Oh, get it right. Get it right. She's watching.
Well, we've been together since 2009. We got married in 2012.
yeah.
So yeah.
She's starting to text right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. How dare you?
Yeah, she's like, I'm really fortunate. She's an amazing woman and gave me an amazing daughter, and there's talk of more in our future. We'll see.
Oh,
I have a
good.
perfect question since you're talking about your wife. Somebody wants to know how many ladies on days you actually kissed.
On camera?
Oh,
Sorry, Judith. Sorry, baby.
Well, speaking of that, let's start with on camera and then go.
That's a whole other story, right?
Hopefully we'll create 2 lists.
I kissed. Okay, I'll try to remember because I kissed the character of Billy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I kissed Jennifer.
Now, were there 2 different Billies while you were there? Or one?
There's just
Same
one.
Billy,
It was
though.
just
Okay.
Julie Pinson. I don't know if Jennifer and I actually. I think we did. Because I think Jack walked in, or there's some weird dream sequence.
Yeah.
I think Missy and Patrick kissed. Definitely Hope and Patrick
Yeah.
kissed.
Oh yeah.
Rachel Melvin, who played.
I was just going to
Played
say
Chelsea,
Rachel
yeah.
Melvin.
Chelsea
Yeah.
kissed, and then also there was its fantasy sequence, which isn't real, but it was on the show where Patrick kissed whoever Mandy Musgrave played the character. Was that Chelsea also, just a different actress, or is that a different
Musgrave.
show? It's a different show. Was that
Mandy
what-
Musgrave?
Yeah. What did she play? She's a great actress, by the way.
I remember the name.
I'm looking.
And she was young. So I was her first on-screen kiss. That's why I remember it, because she was so nervous.
Ashley Davy. No, that's a different show.
Yeah, she was on
this.
I'm looking.
I forgot her.
So we're at, that's what, 5?
5, I think. That
Well,
was
you
it.
had a good run.
Yeah, I think that was it. But I mean, really, the only ones I super kissed. I mean, that's
Super
technical.
super kiss.
That's a technical term, by the way. I super kissed.
We're getting all the backstage scoop
Yeah,
here.
super kissed.
Super kissing.
Julie Pinson and Christian
Hope.
Alfonso.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were both fantastic.
Mandy Musgrave played Chelsea Benson
She was
on Days.
Okay, she was
Yeah.
the first Chelsea.
Yeah.
Oh, so she was the
yeah.
first Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I just learned something. I always thought Rachel was Chelsea.
No, there were
She
2.
was.
There were 2.
Is it difficult working with a different actor or actress when they take over for someone?
No, I don't
No?
think so. I mean, maybe if someone took over for Christian Alfonso, like in the middle of our story, it would have been
Yeah.
the whole thing. But no, I mean,
it would have been a huge thing.
yeah, no, I just, as a professional actor, that's what you do. Right?
Yeah.
You just play with whoever's opposite you, and I mean, I have the same chemistry, the same amount of fun, but it shouldn't affect your performance too much, I suppose.
If you remember, what is something behind the scenes that fans wouldn't know, or like a daytime trick that you wouldn't be able to tell from?
Well, okay. I think everyone does this. But I definitely did it. Especially on weeks where you're working 4 or 5 shows a week and you have a lot of material. I take all the script apart, just keep my pages, and you circle your stuff. But the trick I did is that you learn it and then you bring it on set with you and you stick it under a couch cushion or in a drawer, and then because you do one scene at a time for the most part, and then you finish that scene, you pull it out and you like learn the next scene or just remember, just stick it back in a drawer. That kind of stuff.
Remember what you need to remember for what you're
And
shooting.
you just try to put it somewhere where it's not sticking out. Like there's times when they're filming, like I can see your script, or you left a water bottle or something, but you learn how to hide it and just I guess that's something.
Yeah.
You may not know.
I had heard that Jason Cook did that, but he left his out where he could see them, like hide them behind them because he would forget them.
I did that on that movie Totally Blonde because there's a moment where he's smart in a car. I don't know if you remember. You didn't see the whole movie, but all of a sudden this character has been done the whole movie. Starts talking about like stocks and just all this crazy. So I wrote it down and put it. And we're sitting in a car and I put it in the dashboard. So I could just look down because it was such weird jargon.
Right. Right.
So I always like to find out. I mean, especially with you, since you have done soaps quite a bit and playing like these kind of bad characters. Have you had any interesting fan run-ins?
I have, but not from really daytime. I did Angel for about a half a season.
Yeah.
I played a demon, but we did some fan events, and they do them in England a lot, and those fans are really intense. And,
yeah.
But nothing crazy, the fans in daytime really, if anything, they just call you by your character name because you're in their house every day as St. Patrick, for instance, and. But I have no problem with that. No, I've never had any. I've had mail delivered directly to my residence before, which is always a little
strange.
Weird.
Yeah.
But I think you tell you give it to NBC and they say, "Don't worry, we'll deal with it" or whatever. And I don't think necessarily it's a bad thing. I think people just want to make sure you get their letter.
Yeah.
Even if
I wondered why it came back.
I mean, if there was a finger inside, I'd have a problem. Or it was written in blood. I don't know.
No.
But no, I feel pretty confident I could defend myself. But you never know. Famous last words.
Yeah.
What is on the horizon for Brody Hutzler? What projects are we working on?
I have a couple films.
Ooh.
Not just movies anymore, people. I did a film called Presumed, and that I just saw the premiere of, which looks pretty good. I think it's Mar Vista is distributing it. I think it has a Lifetime kind of vibe, so
good.
That'll be out in 2016. And I did another film called Dance Night Obsession.
Okay.
With Sabrina Bryan, Antonio Zabato Jr., and some other amazing actors, and that's really fun. You're based around a dance show, like a whatever, it's Dancing with the Stars. So it's based on that, and there's like a murder mystery around it. And
okay.
I'm like the executive producer of the show, and that should be out in 2016 also. And that's about it.
Your character is executive producer of the show?
Of the dance show.
Got it.
Yeah. And man, it's that's the only thing I can think of at the moment.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you continue to do a lot. Like, I mean, you're consistently working since. Because some people disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I managed to keep, working here and there, not as much as I'd like, but, the environment of, as an actor in this business has changed a lot.
Yeah.
And, you could, 8 years of soap operas, it doesn't seem to really matter to anyone, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's gotten weird
because,
to us. Well, thank you. But,
it does matter to us.
All the film actors are now doing TV, and it's just everyone's been pushed down a rung or two because I think people realize you just want to work. And so it got a lot more difficult for people to get jobs.
Yeah.
I've been in casting offices waiting to audition. I hear them on the phone offering the part I'm there for to somebody, And I'm like, I'm here to audition for this part. You're gonna, okay.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a fun, but it's a crazy life and it's a fun life, and I'm happy to have been doing it. I had my 20-year anniversary this summer.
Well, congratulations on that. Well, being in this industry for 20 years, and we all know it has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
What keeps you motivated to keep doing this for 20 plus more years?
Well, the fortunate and unfortunate thing is it was good to me right away. Like right out of the box I worked, but then I had a moment where I wasn't, but I already knew, okay, this can happen. So I worked enough to just keep going, right? And I never had a backup plan, and that was like, I didn't give myself a backup plan. I'm like, I'm just doing this. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Which is all fine and dandy when you're 20 and maybe 30, but you get to a place where you're like, okay, now I have a kid, and I have a wife, and like, there's just not as much work out there anymore, and what there is, they're not paying you anything anymore. And I don't want to sound bitter, by the way. It's all good. It's it's just a reality.
You make it happen.
It's just a reality of the situation. So. Yeah, you just show up and do your best. Like I said, so I was there to read for something and offering to somebody else. It's still an opportunity to go in there and do a great job.
Right.
You know what, man, you're great maybe for something else.
I was going to say, they always say you're auditioning for the next thing. You're not necessarily in for that. You're in for the next thing.
So, that's why but every time I get a job, I'm shocked. Not because I don't think I'm good enough. It's just because it's just
it's
amazing.
so difficult.
The planets align.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned earlier, or maybe that was off camera, that you went to the 50th for Days, right? How was that going back and seeing everyone and being around that energy again?
It was good. I was happy they invited me, to be honest. And the funny thing is my invitation had gotten sent to my old address, so I didn't know until
Oh, no.
towards the bitter end that I was going. Of course I said yes, I would love to.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great to see some people I haven't seen in a long time, and people from other shows were there. And
Yeah.
it was, you know, you get to know a lot of people in that business, especially daytime. It's kind of a small community. So it's good. It
Was
fun.
Farrah there?
Farrah wasn't there. I mean, a lot of people. It was a long night, and I actually only ran into like Melissa Reeves and Matt on the way out. But, so I don't think she was there.
Okay.
I
don't remember seeing her there.
I don't know where
either,
she is.
But
Do you guys know what she's doing?
I know she just got married.
She did.
Yeah.
Right.
I told you guys a funny story of I think I tweeted her because I wanted to try to get her on the show, but on her Instagram or Twitter or something it says like I won't show up or something like that, and so we had a very funny exchange. It was very brief.
Does she live in LA? I mean, she's out here.
I think so.
I
don't even know.
I thought she was. Yeah. Yeah.
We used to have fun working together. I just try to make her laugh all the time. I couldn't help it. Like we'd be in the prison scenes, and it was just funny stuff.
That was a great dynamic. Like that, I feel like that whole time of Days was just. I think maybe just because that's when I really
Got
was
into it.
into it and watching it was just always so fun for me.
It was fun, and you know, like you said, Judy Evans, the Bonnie character, is just a great, fun character.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
people to watch it for her to play. I think. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun with that.
And being on Days and Y&R, you said that you would go back to Days. Would you go back to Y&R too?
Yeah, Y&R was great. My character on that show was really insignificant, but he was there for 4.5 years, and he went on I think it turned out he was a cultural anthropologist, and went on they threw a scene out of nowhere. I had this whole thing where I went to dinner with Heather Tom's character at the time. And, just to see if we had something or whatever. It didn't work out, but so yeah, then my character went on sabbatical, on a trip around the world, and then I left because I quit to go to Days.
Well, it's good. None of your characters have actually died.
No,
Right,
so
which
we don't
is
have to
always-
bring
I
you
mean,
back to life.
We know
You
that
just have
doesn't
to-
mean you can't go back.
Yeah,
but
no, I'm always
it's
open
always
to-
nice.
Just daytime's it's a great job. It's a lot of fun. The people are usually amazing, and yeah, nothing bad to say about it. I always do it. Like I said, when I left in 2007, I didn't want to do it. I just wanted the opportunity to do some other stuff because you start acting with some aspirations or what have you.
Why
did
is it that it just seems like most of the soap people that ends up being the reason that they want to go? I would think that daytime would be a little bit more flexible than with letting people do other projects along with staying on the show. Any reason behind that you can think of or that you know of?
I think nowadays, it's probably easier for people to get out and do stuff because its schedules, I think, they've tweaked them so much because of money to you have weeks off, months off.
Right.
It's crazy. I hear these through the grapevine with the schedules, and it's insane. But maybe I might need you. I don't know. The storyline's getting heavy for you. I mean, when I was on Days, I think I did a couple things. One of them, which was another NBC show, so they let me do a little crossover thing at Vegas, and I did a movie. But but I'm not, when I'm on the show, I'm not there to do something else. I'm there to do that show, and that's fine.
Right.
I never really asked to do much. But I mean, of course, if something comes up and it's like, oh, Spielberg wants you in
Right.
AI Part 2, you're like, yeah, can I?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
You hear that, Steven?
Mr. Spielberg.
Now with
Matthew's on a first name basis.
I just
with him.
first named Mr. Spielberg.
Yeah.
Now, with all of the experience that you've had in this industry, is there anything that you would like to do that you haven't done yet? Because I know you've done films.
Well, there's
you've done
genres of films I'd love to do a really kick-ass science fiction movie.
Right.
And I mean, of course, a straight up Western. And I guess those are the two I've always really just thought would be really fun to do. And because I love watching, I love good science fiction anytime. I don't know, I'll watch it. So, yeah.
I'm more of a rom-com.
Rom-com. anything that's great. I just want to do anything that's great. The movies I did are great, but they're they're SAG low budget and I want to, I would really love to do like a Legally Blonde, but actually be in it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You missed your opportunity. Legally Blonde 2.
So wait, what scene? What's the scene where you said you can kind of see you? Because we watch it all the time.
Yeah, so it's in the beginning.
Because I even thought, I was like, really? He's in it? Well, my first thought was you had to.
They even give me a name. My name is Grant. My name is Grant. I have a name and everything.
Okay,
but
so which scene?
It's in the beginning. There's a big fraternity party.
Right.
And so she's kind of walking.
Yes.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I remember that scene.
Oh, him.
So there's a scene, I think she walks up, you can just see we way in the back. I think I have almost like a shirt like this on or something. And there's me and another guy just standing back there, but it's like quick. I just
Oh,
knew it
okay.
because I knew I had been in that scene. I'm
Got
like,
it,
where did
got
I
it.
go?
Okay.
But,
Well,
So
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna we're gonna watch. We're gonna take
It's
a
on
photo.
Netflix,
and we're
I
gonna
do
tweet
believe,
it.
so
I
I will
swear
be-
to God, if you find that, I will.
I'm gonna find it.
We'll do a
Tweet it.
shout
I'm
out
gonna
next
find it.
week.
And somebody, Emma just said that she thinks Farrah is in Vegas because her husband is a poker player.
Oh.
Yeah.
So does she still act? I mean, I was always wondering about her. I should call
I feel
her.
like the last thing I saw her in was that reality show, Dirty Soap,
right.
that they did.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
love
I
that
think it's the
show.
last time I saw her too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she moved to another soap. Wasn't she on another soap for a while too? After Days,
One Life to Live.
maybe.
I don't watch any
I don't
other
know.
soap
Yeah,
besides.
I feel like she moved to another.
She did
soap
do
for a
something
while.
for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we run out of time, because oh my God, time has gone by so quickly.
Yeah.
It's like you blink and it's
Wow.
over.
It's
yeah.
keep
Because
going,
you're
man.
such a pleasure
Yeah.
to talk
Keep
to,
going.
Brody.
This
but-
wine makes it easy.
but-
See that?
Oh. Okay.
Judith, help.
J.A. He read your comment. J.A.
That was nice, J.A.
But one thing I wanted to know, and maybe this is a nice closeout to this, is what, as an actor, what have you taken from your experiences working on a soap that you can use and apply to the other genres?
Oh, well, I think there's things you can learn on a soap that you take you so long to learn just as an actor in general. I mean, it's simple stuff, but especially like for TV when they use more than one camera, there's light. You learn to find your light. Especially me, I'm usually much taller than whoever I'm working with, so
Yeah. I
not
get
blocking
that
the
too.
other actor. Hitting your marks, just like I
Hiding
went-
your scripts.
Yes, I went. I'll go do a TV show, and they'll be like, "You're like a one-take wonder." I'm like, "Well, it's just because I used to memorizing 30 pages of lines." So
A lot of the people
these
that have been here
is
have
not a
said
big
the same
deal for me.
thing.
Yeah.
Is memorizing 30 pages of dialogue as tedious or crazy as it sounds? Like, it sounds pretty crazy.
Sometimes it's tough, and sometimes it's easier. It depends on who wrote that script. Sometimes it makes, if it all makes sense, it's kind of easy.
Yeah.
And if you've been playing the character for a while, and like I said, you don't necessarily have to be verbatim, so it's a lot easier. There's times that it's really difficult, and that's when you bring the script on the set. Or, I had moments where I was, I'm remembering this woman I had been with, Alma. And it's very emotional, and you have just pages of you're talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Those are difficult.
Yeah.
I had one day on Days of Our Lives where I just couldn't get it. I had like a paragraph, it was with Jennifer, and once you kind of like get that ball rolling, then I was like I messed it up 3 times, and then it wasn't even about the words anymore. It's just I was in my head going, oh my God, I'm gonna forget it again.
Yeah.
And that's the only time I ever screwed up ever. And this producer isn't on the show anymore. He pulled me aside afterwards and gave me shit about it. I'm like, this is the first time I've ever. I said, don't worry, it's not gonna happen again. But give me a break.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah.
I'm only human. Did they ever have, when you were there, did they have cue cards?
No, but I've worked with people that had cue cards. Like Guiding Light, there was a couple old school actors that had them. I don't think anyone on Days I ever saw with cue card. But I've seen people use them.
We have cue cards here. The person just called in sick today.
Yeah. I love teleprompters. Those are great.
I love a good teleprompter.
Good teleprompter, man. You can't beat it.
I'm going to read this question. I don't really understand it or why it was even asked, but I'm going to ask it. Emily wants to know
No.
if you could throw cold spaghetti at any one of your choice, who would it be?
If I could do it off a show or just
Cold
in general,
spaghetti.
like in here.
I'm guessing. Oh, maybe me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone at AfterBuzz.
Cold spaghetti.
I don't know. I've never heard. I just thought that was funny.
Well,
So I
you
had
can
to ask
answer the
it.
question for both. Who out of the 3 co-hosts would you throw spaghetti at?
I'd throw
And-
the spaghetti on you because I think it would stick better on your forehead.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
I don't
Thank
mean
God I
like
grew my hair out because
And
I would have been
think,
next in line.
It would mess up mine.
Days of Our Lives, I'd probably just go on a day when there's a wedding scene or something, just chuck it at everybody.
The bride.
See who it's stuck to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruin her day.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
And
No one should be happy.
Sebastian wanted to know if you've worked with Eileen Davidson.
Was she on when you were on?
I don't think so.
Don't know if we worked together, but I know her. I
Yeah,
know her.
yeah.
We've worked. I think on maybe on Young
Well, she did
Restless.
both. Yeah.
I think we've crossed paths so
Yeah.
many times that I know her. And I don't know if she knows me anymore, but
And you'll be co-starring with her in the next season of Real Housewives.
that's where she's on that show.
Yeah.
I watched some of that one time.
That's so fun.
They make her seem so mean, and she's so not.
I love her.
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason why I started watching.
Yeah.
But,
The Housewives?
yeah,
So good.
yeah,
Eileen. Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's our time with
it.
with you, Brody. That's
We
it.
we didn't eat all the pizza rolls either.
I know.
Well, I would see the Mark had to
Well, because
shoot
they're
him over
not from the
because-
toaster oven.
Yeah.
This
So
is what
they're
you
not the
get,
same.
guys, when you come on the
That's-
After Buzz.
that's
Oh,
right.
They know. They know.
I actually love pizza rolls. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, Brody, thank you so much for coming on
Thank you.
and going down memory lane with
Yeah.
us and letting us pick your last 20 years apart and asking you all sorts of
Thank you
questions.
for having me. I hope I wasn't boring.
We'll do our
great.
best to get you back on too.
Yeah, well, someone has already started.
I did
Bring
get
Brody
Jack back on for
Yeah.
5
Oh, you did?
episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe my next time will be a little bit
We've got
contract.
We've got some good juju going on
Yeah,
in here.
yeah,
So,
hey, man.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll
I'm all
do
for,
what we can.
I live like 3.5 miles from door to door from the studio, so it'd be good.
Okay, perfect.
I can ride my bicycle there.
We want you back.
Well, before we head out, Mark, let everyone know where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lorraine Love, LORAYNELOVE.
Brody, are you active on social media? You are.
A little bit. I mean, I kind of like I do a Facebook mainly.
Yeah.
I kind of just don't have anything to talk about because I don't do a ton of personal
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like and then I feel like a dummy when I'm putting a bunch of like, oh, look at me on set, or
Yeah.
I hate that hashtag set life.
Hashtag set
I don't know if I'm
life.
too old. I can't stand it. I freaking hate it.
I didn't even know that hashtag existed.
I stopped.
didn't either.
Yeah. Hashtag blessed. Hashtag
I'm not
set
on
life.
set very much to even know that that
hashtag
exists.
blessed, hashtag booked, hashtag.
Yeah, exactly.
I will be using it though the next time I'm on
Sure.
set.
I've been guilty of it. I've never done the hashtag thing, but I've been like, oh, look at me in my trailer. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, and I just, I don't know. I guess you
The
have
piece
to.
of masking tape that says Brody Hutzler
Yeah,
on
I
it.
know. I can't
Well,
do
in case they want to see that rare photo of you on set, where can they find
it. So
you?
I think,
Twitter's your name.
Ian Brody Hutzler at whatever. Is that?
Yeah.
At Brody Hutzler.
I'm old.
The at's implied
Yeah,
on Twitter.
okay.
Yeah.
And I have Facebook, which is Brody Hutzler.
Yes.
There's probably a couple. One's like a professional one, which I don't keep up on, and one's me.
Yeah.
They're both me. Like whatever has my name on it, for Christ's
Find 'em.
sakes. Just like
Just
it.
find
Just
'em.
like it.
Find it like.
I'll say this: I do have Instagram. I go on it like once a year. So.
Yeah.
Well,
probably-
we look forward to that once a year post.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I like it.
I was
and
gonna say,
share it
I know.
with
I'm gonna be
everybody.
like, I'll make sure I double click that one. Double click it.
And
Yeah.
Matthew, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Matthew Evan.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com.
Wait.
And huh?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Oh, no, I was done.
Was I supposed to be looking in this camera the whole time? I don't think I looked at it once.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, no.
It doesn't matter.
I was trying to look at you guys.
Well, you guys make sure you don't go anywhere because we have a full recap of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives coming up right after this. And once again, thank you, Brody.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank
for
you.
joining us.
Thank you guys so
Send my love
much.
to Judith and the baby.
I will.
Hi, Judith and the
Yeah.
baby.
And thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in just a moment for AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
I refuse.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.